Good morning, everybody. Happy June and happy Money Monday. I'm Belinda Ray, the Director of Strategic Partnerships here at GPCOG. I am here with my colleague.
Paul Johnson, the Director of Economic and Community Development here at GPCOG.
And we are here with Monday Mondays for you. I think I said Monday Monday. Money Mondays. We're here with Money Mondays. If you have questions, pop them in the chat. We'll answer them at the end. We always share the slides. And I think that's all we need for introduction. So we'll go ahead and get going.
Okay. Today we have two topics of new grant funding opportunities. So that's unusual. I just heard about this on Friday afternoon. Mine is a new grant opportunity for MTI. And I'm not an expert on it, like always, but I did peruse the website this morning, so there's lots of good information there, and an opportunity to contact MTI directly if you do have any questions. Next slide there, Belinda. I'll pause.
Are you seeing it?
No, I'm seeing the front. There it is.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yay. All right. The name of the grant is the Innovative Ecosystem Development Grant, which is a lot of words that probably doesn't say too much. So drilling down in it, we'll get to the next slide. It is specifically for these Maine Technology Institute typically works with these 7 sectors. They're all technology-based sectors. And most grants that come through them are required to deal specifically with some of the seven sectors that in front of your screen. I'll be honest with you, if you're watching from municipality, this probably isn't an opportunity for a municipality. This is an opportunity more for an organization. Or perhaps if the municipality has a economic development arm, that might be a possibility. But it's not necessarily for a town or a city. Could be for the Economic Development Corporation if you did have one, or an organization that you work for if you are watching this. And so what is the grant? Details are broad right now, which is usually a good thing because that means you can sit and kind of mull over what you might bring to the table and how you might be able to help these 7 industries. Next slide, Belinda. Just I highlighted some key things here is these are innovation-driven enterprises. And if you've taken an entrepreneur class or a business class, essentially these are technology-based companies or the sectors that have to be scalable. So they tend not to be brick and mortar mom and pops where one more location means that they get a little bit more money and then they expand and enter one more location. These businesses, this grant should really focus on businesses that can ramp up, that can scale, that can create large amounts of revenue, large amounts of job creation. And it is perfectly acceptable to strategically partner with other organizations. So you could have a group of you. So let's say you're in, I don't know, South Portland. I'm just throwing out a town, and you really feel like there's an opportunity to service these 7 sectors, but there's something missing. You could partner with a couple other organizations that serve your area and do a joint application. Again, this is really broad, and I think it's broad by design. After poking around, I think they're really looking for your ideas on how you can help incubate these new businesses in these sectors. No more than $500,000. There does need to be matching funds. It didn't specify what the match is. I assume it's not a 100% match. It could be. It's probably, I'm sure they'll release that at a later date. And the grant can be spread up over 3 years. So if it's a new incubator, or if it's a new initiative, it doesn't have to be a 2 or 3 month or a one-time deal. This money could be used to establish something that has some staying power. So again, check it out. Maine Technology Institute, those 7 sectors. They're always very, very responsive if you have questions. And just a quick Google of Maine Technology Institute, and this grant particular is featured pretty prominently right on their front page, so you can drill down a little bit more.
Great, thanks, Paul. And I am talking today about the Sam L. Cohen Foundation. They do grants for Southern Maine communities. And excuse me. There we go. Eligibility here is a political subdivision of the state. So yes, municipalities, towns, tribes, counties, any of these, 501c3s, or if you're an organization that's working with a fiscal agent that is a 501c3, a nonprofit, a church, a synagogue, temple, or mosque, that is also an eligible entity. And of course, they're for Southern Maine. So you need to be located in and or serve people in Cumberland and York County. So you could be located outside of these counties, but you have to serve people within Cumberland and York County either way. And you must not have received a grant from the Cohen Foundation in the previous year. Projects, they will do everything. They'll do new programs, ongoing programs. They will do capital improvements, and they do general operating support as well. A lot of organizations, foundations do not do these things, but if your mission aligns with theirs, they will offer general operating support as well. They will not do annual fund appeals, endowments. They don't do multi-year commitments. They don't do same grants, same grantees 2 years in a row. And if you've gotten a grant from them and you didn't turn in your report, then you're not in good standing and they won't do a grant with you there either. So get in those reports. Sure. Priorities, they do prioritize projects, organizations that serve underserved and underprivileged populations, that do things to decrease barriers and respond to community needs and collaborate with partners. So if you're working with partners and strengthening networks, that's a big plus. If you are ensuring people have equal access to resources and opportunities, that's a big plus too. So types of projects, they have 5 areas of focus. I'm highlighting 4 of them here. The first one is arts and culture, and here are 4 recent winners. So you can see within arts and culture, they are particularly interested in educational programming around that, serves low income and underserved youth and brings through arts and culture, helps to inspire them and create educational opportunities. Another area of focus is civic and community. And for these, they're looking at organizations that are working towards systemic change through public policy for social benefit. So we have Catholic Charities there with immigration legal services. We have general operating support for 3 organizations, Finding Our Voices, which is an organization for survivors of domestic abuse. We have Maine Boys to Men, Equality Maine. These are just some of the examples in each category. Another area of focus is education. So Learning Works in Portland and Prosperity Maine got funds for general operating support, and then United Way, $35,000 to support the United for Childcare program, and Woodford's Family Services to support a transportation program for K through 5. So also this specific area, they will span the entire educational spectrum from pre-K through college and adulthood. So lots of opportunities there. If your municipality has adult ed, or if your municipality offers, summer programming, things like this might qualify in the education area. And then health and human services. And so we have Common Space, Portland Public Health, Art Van in Brunswick, and Portland Gear Hub are all examples of organizations that received funding through this area of focus. And this one is focused on increasing the number of people who are self-sufficient and lead healthy and productive lives. So they're really looking to reach out to people in a genuine way and help to improve and enrich their lives. So key features here, the maximum grant you can get is $50,000. The average is $21,400. That's what it was in 2024, was $21,400. Your probability, so they received 143 proposals in 2024, and they funded about half of them. So if you are in there and your proposal aligns and meets all the requirements, there are pretty good odds. They do fund a lot of applications. There is a 2-step process here. This is important. So right now, between now and July 15th, you need to submit an initial inquiry. And this is something you can do online. It'll walk you through the process. If your initial inquiry is something that they review and say, yes, this aligns with our mission, then you are invited to submit the application. So it's nice because it kind of lets you know up front if you have a shot. So you'll know you're not putting a lot of work into an application that does not match their priorities at all. Difficulty here is a 3. It's not that difficult. You have to create a specific account to apply through, but that's pretty quick. It can be done, 30 seconds. You have to assemble several documents that you need in order to apply, and then you complete an online application where you'll fill out a narrative about your project. And that is, remember, if you are invited to submit a full proposal. So the first thing you want to do is get that inquiry in, and that deadline is July 15th. And if you're invited to submit a full proposal, then you have until September 1st to get that in. Now, I told you there were 5 areas of focus. The one I did not highlight was Jewish culture and traditions, and that's because I focus on municipalities, and generally municipalities fit better into these other 4 categories, but you can look at that one as well. In order to get more information on this, I have the website linked. You always, when you are applying to any grant, and particularly to a foundation, make yourself familiar with the foundation, check out their priorities, their areas of focus, look through the grant history, see what they've funded before, so you can see what kinds of things they like to fund and how much they typically give. You can email them in advance to schedule a phone call to have a conversation to say, look, this is what I'm thinking. Am I crazy? Should I even do this? And they will talk to you in advance. Once you've submitted, people aren't going to have conversations with you unless they reach out to find out more about your application. But before anything's coming in, they're happy to talk with you and help you, guide you, see if your project fits. You can create the account that you need to apply. And then if you look at that last link, that shows you all the documents that you need to assemble in order to apply. So it's pretty straightforward. And obviously, we are always here if you have other questions, and happy to help with that. And that is the end of what I have for today.
Me too, I think.
I like to leave space for you, Paul, in case
Well,
you have something you want to say.
I almost started singing the Mr. Rogers, when he was like the end of the day, when the show was
How
over.
did that go?
Yeah,
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 yeah. What was the
yes.
last song?
Oh God, now you're gonna, now you, no, I'm not gonna do it because then I'm gonna get
No,
into it. And
all
then
I
these
can think
guys,
of is "Would you be mine? Could you
yeah,
be
right.
mine?
No, no,
Won't you be my
no,
neighbor?" But that's not
no.
the end
No,
song.
this one is, I'll be back when the day is new,
Oh
and
yeah,
I'll have more money ideas for
for
you.
you.
And Belinda will have things she'll want to talk about, and I will
Will
too.
too.
Okay,
Oh,
that's
that's
it.
great.
That's it.
All
Goodbye,
right.
everybody.
Oh boy. All right, let's get out of here before it gets loopier. Have a great week, everybody.